Hey guys, Yips here, coming at you with another video, and I just want to do a quick 5-minute talk on professions moving into the next raid tier. Professions are going to be a very useful tool for you as a warlock in order to supplement your gearing experiences. Next week we're going to be getting tons of 400 eye level loot, tons of 385 eye level loot, and I want to talk a little bit about why professions are going to be a way for you to supplement that gearing process. So with the new raid, we're going to be getting raid material similar to the Sanguisil that we got from Aldir. However, we have more options for viable professions. We have engineering, jewel crafting, and alchemy popping up that will also reward high eye level pieces of gear that we can use. So for example, with jewel crafting, right now you can craft a 385 ring with the current raid match, the Sanguisil. I have one right now, it's 385, it has best in slot stats on it, very, very, very good. And with the next raid materials, we'll be able to craft 415 eye level rings with sockets, very, very, very powerful. It is worth noting, you can only wear one. Tailoring is again going to allow you to craft the pants and the gloves. You can get whatever stats on those that you want. It may take a few crafts to get it, but you can get the haste mastery ones for both pieces. Engineering allows you to craft a 2 ring. What I mean by that, it will have the double damage trait row. It will have 2 of those, and you can get it 385 as soon as the week starts. As soon as it comes to the 22nd, you can farm up those Hydra cores and farm for that 385 helmet. And then with the raid materials, you'll be able to craft 400 and 415. And then lastly, but not least, with alchemy, you can craft a trinket. I guess it is least, you can craft a trinket. It's not very good. It's a versatility trinket with an int proc. I don't recommend going alchemy unless you're a diehard alchemy fan. The trinket is not great, like I said. So engineering, tailoring, and jewel crafting, which ones are the best? In my opinion, jewel crafting and engineering give you the most powerful rewards and the most powerful options, while tailoring gives you pants and gloves, so it gives you 2 pieces that you can have best in slot, whereas engineering and jewel crafting obviously only give you 1 each. Jewel crafting, in my opinion, is very good is because rings are so over budgeted, especially rings with sockets. A socketed 385 ring best in slot could be better than a 415 ring with the stats that you don't want on it. It's just so good, so powerful, and you can make one right now, which is excellent, so you can spend all of the time right now rolling instead of spending it next week when you'd rather be doing Mythic Plus and stuff. You can get this 385 ring with your best stats right away. Super, super good. If you're a new character and you just leveled up your Warlock, tailoring can be very good because it's going to be hard to find high eye level pants and gloves with best stats, and it allows you to craft 2 pieces instead of 1. Engineering, alongside jewel crafting, in my opinion, is the most valuable one since it allows you to craft those double statted Azurite pieces. It's going to give you Racking Brilliance and Inevitable Demise in the tier 1, both amazing traits. And then in the tier 2, it gives you all the unique engineering ones, which are also very powerful. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go into next week with engineering and jewel crafting. I'm going to do my full heroic run, see what pieces of loot I get or whenever I'm able to craft it, and most likely I won't get an Azurite helmet, so I'll be crafting that 400 eye level heroic Azurite helmet for engineering, as it will give me those double traits. Super, super good. If I do end up early on picking up an Azurite helmet, what I will then do is I will switch over to tailoring, and I will either craft pants or gloves depending what I don't get. The reason being is because this 385 ring, moving this to 400 is not a huge increase compared to moving a pant or a glove to 400. Most likely my pants 15 item levels on this will be worth more than 15 eye levels on an already socketed ring. So between tailoring, engineering, and jewel crafting, we have some really good options, and it's going to depend on what pieces of gear that you get. But even right now, you can start preparing by leveling those professions, getting the materials that you have, and the materials that you need to get prepared. So the expulsum, all of the gems that you need, all of the crafting materials and stuff, that's what I would do right now. It is worth noting that jewel crafting is rather expensive. In order to craft this ring, I spent well over 200,000 gold to get the best stats. It took me 4 or 5 crafts. You can either get really lucky or really unlucky, just totally RNG, so keep that in mind when you're leveling jewel crafting, as it is quite expensive. Tailoring is definitely a cheaper option, and same thing with engineering because you only need to craft 1 engineering helmet. So keep that in mind as you're doing your professions, but again, socketed rings are huge, 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 huge. So if you don't want to pick up engineering or you don't want to pick up tailoring or whatever, you don't want to drop your professions, I recommend at least getting the jewel crafting ring 385. The base 385 craft of the next raid tier is not too expensive. I'll show you it right here. It's going to be the Tidal Kraken's Eye Loop. It's not too expensive. It's only going to cost you 4 Kraken's Eye, 30 Laravel, 30 Scarlet Diamond, Expulsum, and Tidal Core. It's not too bad just to craft one of them. Obviously, once you start crafting 5, 10, 15 of them, that's when it starts to add up in price. But just getting one 385 socketed ring very early on can be extremely good. So that's kind of my recommendation for professions. I'm going to be doing those. I recommend you start leveling them up now and getting the rewards now. Super powerful, super nice. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully this just helps you out a little bit with the gearing process of the next raid tier.